let me ask you another question. Obviously, in the role you're in and the exposure to the markets, how do you see the next couple of years panning out in terms of the future of work? We have gone from a few years ago, company I worked in just wouldn't let you work from home. No, because you're going to be slacking off and you won't be doing. And then all of a sudden COVID comes in and bang, we're all at home. We're working more hours. We're more concentrated. We're not wasting time in the canteen at the water cooler. Where do you see this going with the technology that's being developed? And how do you see us all being in this sort of new way of working? What's it going to evolve into, in your opinion?
Interesting. Well, I think mixed reality is coming to stay. So nowadays we have a bunch of headsets that can, make you feel like you are in your table because you are in your table. But, bring in elements that sometimes you would only have access if you were on your field of work. So imagine someone that needs to work with motors and they need to build it and they need to be in the factory. So we're here comfortably in our houses, but there are jobs that just cannot be done remotely for now. And imagine this person imagine this person is a motor designer. And this person, normally needs to go to the office, but imagine with MR that this person will be able to do it from their houses, having the exact elements that this person needs to build whatever it's needed to build a motor that I have no idea what is needed. But the fact that the person can do it in their houses and using the exact type of material, using the exact elements. I'll give you an example of an artist that I met, and he's from Rio de Janeiro, and he designs jewelry using the Quest 2.
Yeah.
So he uses a bunch of softwares to build it, and it's incredible. And I was talking to him these days, and he told me that he is running an experiment with a community. I think it's from Rocinha, and he told me, do you have any idea how much a can of graffiti, a can of paint costs? And I was like, no, I have no idea. And he was like, yes, a lot. So imagine if you are from a community that doesn't have a lot of money. So for you to buy one of those paint cans, it's a lot of money. And they end, right? It's not an eternal can. He was telling me that he was experimenting, teaching graffiti to this bunch of young kids. And he was telling me how amazing it was, because they were like, okay, I have an infinite can.
It's incredible.
And it's incredible. You're empowering people with that. And it's just the beginning, in my view. The technology will evolve in a point that it will be way more comfortable for us to wear this type of headset. It will be way more social as well. But there's one thing that I believe, which is nothing replaces the cafezinho with your colleagues, right?
Sure.
Nothing replaces.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I think this technology, in my opinion, is here not to replace, but to complement and to enhance when we don't have the opportunity to be, face to face. I'll give you an example. My first real proper experience of 3D, I remember putting on the Oculus Quest, the first one, and we were in the office, someone bought it, and it was a roller coaster simulator. And, for the first while, it's amazing. And then they go over this thing. And I threw the thing off my head. I thought I felt completely uneasy. And I was blown away by the fact that something, which is just some lenses in front of your eye, could make you feel completely so uneasy. I thought I was about to fall off my chair. Fast forward a couple of years to just a couple of years ago, in Dubai, there is this amazing experience in the mall. You go into this, it's right beside the Apple store. And it's like going into the cinema in a weird kind of way, but you go into this room and you get dressed up and you have a backpack. It's a weird backpack, and you have these things. One of them, they go on your hands and they go on your feet. And then, of course, you have a Quest thing. So you go into this room. It's a reasonably small, completely pitch black room. And you put this on. And when you put it in, you are essentially transported into this absolutely crazy virtual 3D world. And it's like Indiana Jones style, there's some pyramids over here and there's jungle over there, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, ghosts start appearing and a train comes out. And what was amazing to me in this journey is that as soon as this started happening, I was there. I was in this world. I wasn't thinking I'm here and I got a backpack on, I got this thing on my face. I just forgot everything else. You were completely immersed in it. And there's another stage where they make it interactive where you can pick things physically up. And even though you're picking this thing up in real life, you can see it. My wife threw this thing across the room and nearly hit me in the head. I mean, it's so immersive. And I think we're not quite there yet with this sort of consumer-based tech, but soon enough we will be. I mean, think about concerts in the metaverse, which we've had Ariana Grande, we've had a bunch of others. Ariana Grande had 79 million people turn up to hers. And, it's an immersive interactive experience where you can be there with your friend, even though your friend's on the other side of the world. And I personally see this growing very, very significantly over the next few years and it becoming much more mainstream and coming into the cultural nomenclature.
Yeah, imagine one of my dreams is to go to a Super Bowl. With the money I know I'm willing to pay, I might not have the best seat. But imagine, you being able to watch the Super Bowl from the seat that you cannot afford in real life and have a very, very close experience as if you were there. And
Absolutely.
so many other experiences, right? Again, nothing will be the same. It's not going to be replacing the experience of being there in person. But for those that would never be able to pay for it, imagine how much it expands when it comes to equality as well.
Absolutely. And I can't remember the specific stadium, but there is one of the basketball stadiums in the US, and they've put 150 cameras all around the place, right at courtside, up in the air. But these are the cameras that stitches together everything that they see in real time into a 3D virtual world. So now you can put on your headset and you can be courtside and you can look around and you can see everything and it is in real time. And then if you want, you can walk, onto the actual basketball court and get the view like you were one of the players, the referee. And several people called me up and said, okay, I saw this thing. This is absolutely insane. Where else is this technology going to go? What other applications does it have? I mean, where do you see it growing into as well?
I just need to make a joke. Imagine you being there on the court and then you see Jay-Z, Beyonce. I would go crazy.
Absolutely. You can feel like you're there.
Yes, exactly. No, and I think one thing that I remember very well was the FIFA app. I don't know if you recall. This last World Cup last year,
yeah,
FIFA launched an app that had a AR experience that was very cool. So when we're at home and we're watching the game, we have someone saying okay, this person has the ball. This is a bunch of status from this player, and this is a bunch of status about the game. And with that app, you were able to see that in real life, just pointing your camera to the field. For me, that was mind blowing because that was bringing to those that were the other way around. Imagine bringing to those that are there in person a bunch of virtual things that they cannot access while being there, but we at home we do access. So it's an interesting switch that I think again just opens a little bit more the possibilities. The other thing that I cannot not think about when it comes to this possibilities is education. So I was taught through books. So I had to see pictures of whatever historical thing that happened many years ago. Imagine being able to, see a historical thing happening in front of you. To me, that is mind blowing. Imagine being a kid in 10, 15 years from now and being at school and being able to, hear a conversation between, I don't know, Dom Pedro Cabral and whoever, uh, Pedro,
Well,
Cabral and whoever. So I mean, it's interesting for you to go there and see like also how the movie industry will have to
yeah.
reinvent themselves, because on a way that they just have to screen, and that's already a lot of work. But imagine if you have to give me a sense of, fully immersive in that movie. It's another work. It requires a lot of other skills and technologies. And I think that's amazing.